Hey everyone, it's Keith here again at Coding Blind Tech, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to create a new skill in Codex CLI. So stay tuned. Welcome to Coding Blind Tech. Alrighty, so getting started, Codex CLI allows you to install skills. So you can do that globally, which would be in your home folder, or you can do that local to whatever project you're in. So right now, if I hit Shift-Control-E, and we're in the tic-tac-toe game project that we've been working on in the AI development with the screen reader series. So Shift-Control-E,
Files Explorer.agents.
we're in Visual Studio Code. The first thing in the very top, so I am going to down arrow,
.codex not,
and then I'm going to up arrow.
.agents not selected.
All right, we have a .agents directory here. I'm going to hit enter on this.
Selected collapsed.
So it was already expanded, and that's what I was trying to show you. That right now there's nothing in there, but we can add a folder and then create a skill. So, but we don't have to do that manually though. We can actually do that with Codex because Codex has a skill built in for you to be able to do that. So I am going to close the sidebar with Control B as in Bravo.
Primary sidebar.
And
Coding
we are
Blind Tech
using
at left.
NVDA screen reader. So if I drop down to my terminal, I'm going to press Control Grav.
Terminal 1.
And Grav's above that tab key. So in here, I'm going to type Codex, so C-O-D-E-X, and hit enter.
Terminal 1, Codex use Alt plus.
Awesome. So that's going to go ahead and start up Codex. Now, what I always like to do, and I mean, typically I'll set it by default, but it's just a habit just to check to be sure. But I am going to Alt F2
Accessible.
And then Control End.
Blank. Blank 2 space press enter to continue.
So that right there, so sometimes it doesn't open up, and then also I want to check my model. So let's up arrow.
Space blank 2 space 3 dot 2 dot no indent 1 dot. Update now left paren. Runs
so
grab sh-c-tech curl -fsslh.
All right, so I am going
Terminal
to
1
press enter on that. That is something like if you install it through Node, it'll prompt you and it'll tell you it'll use the npm command. But for me, I downloaded it through the Linux command, so I'm going to press enter on this.
Updating Codex via grab sh-c-tech curl.
All right, and that's going to quickly update.
Updating Codex.
It will release the terminal. All right, now that's done. So I'm just going to up arrow.
Codex. Blank.
So I am going to clear the terminal first. So I'm going to press. I actually just type C and hit enter because I actually alias that command out. I'll be sure to put that video in the description if you're curious on how to do that. So you can use your .bash rc file for aliasing commands, especially ones that you write often. And you know, you can one letter or a couple letters instead of having to type a lot out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and up arrow twice.
C adex.
And that's going to get to my history in my terminal. I'm going to hit enter.
Terminal 1, Codex use Alt plus F1 for terminal accessibility. Terminal
awesome.
1,
So
Terminal 1,
let that
greater line openai.
All right, and I just kept hitting Control there to quit the screen reader from talking. So I'm going to Alt F2 now to read that accessible view.
GPT-5.6-sol.
And then if I Control End, it'll go to the bottom.
GPT-5.6-sol high middle dot tilde slash codes.
All right, so we hear GPT 5.6 sol
G
and then
dash
high,
5 dash.
But I'm going to Control right arrow.
Sol high. Space X.
Yeah, because it's X
H
I G H X high. Okay, good. So now Codex is up and running. The
Terminal 1.
Skill, so the way we're going to do that is we're going to provide a prompt, and it's pre-written. I prepared for this one, and I'm going to do insert C as in Charlie because it's on my clipboard. I want you to hear it.
Use $skill-creator to create and install a personal Codex skill named distill-session that analyzes the full current session and writes a concise, factual Markdown handoff into a verified git-ignored project directory. Preserve objectives, changes, decisions, files, validation, blockers, and next step semi, exclude filler, raw logs, hidden instructions, secrets, and irrelevant tangents semi, never overwrite, stage, or commit the handoff semi, and run the official skill validator when finished.
All right, so you hear it there. It's a few sentences, not a long prompt, but basically we are saying create a skill. So we're calling it distill-session. And what this skill is basically going to do is it's going to go through and get a detailed summary of what's went on during that chat session between you and the AI. Now, once it's gathered that information, then we basically tell it no noise. So that was what you heard whenever it was explaining out, like don't go on a tangent, things like that. And then we want to write it to a Markdown file that's inside of a directory where it's .git-ignored. So where we can just read it and understand it. And it's a lot easier to understand it, what you've done in a session. It's always good to have an overview, or especially whenever you're closing out. So, and it helps keep memory, right? Like think about that. You could put these in a group, in a directory, and have memory over sessions. So, all right, so getting right into it. All right, so I'm going to let you hear it again.
Use $skill-creator.
All right, so you hear use $skill-creator. So $sign is going to be the way that we reference a skill in Codex CLI. Skill-creator is a built-in skill that will help us create a skill. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this command in.
Use
with Control V, or this prompt from my clipboard, and I'm going to hit enter.
Use $skill-creator to create and install a terminal.
Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Grav. You could do Control J, as in Juliet, and it's going to put us back up to our main area. Now, what we're listening for is a thunk on the command line, because when you're not focused on the terminal, whenever GPT or Codex, whenever it comes back and it says, hey, I've got a question, or I need you to allow a permission, it's going to have that sound effect. So we'll wait on that. Also, when it's complete, it will have the sound effect. I've noticed that it's not all the time, and it depends, or maybe it's just so subtle that it's not always recognized. So
terminal bell.
All right, so it finished, and you should have heard that terminal bell is what the screen reader announced, and then you heard the bell right before. So awesome. I'm going to hit Control Grav to go back down to the terminal.
Bullet working.
All right,
terminal.
so it looks like it's going to ask us a question.
Space black 2 space 3 dot 2 dot no indent 1 dot.
So what I always do, I go to option 2
space 2,
and I hit Alt F2 to get up to the accessible view, and then I Control N to go to the bottom. Now I'm looking at option 2.
2 dot. Yes, comma, and Don tick T ask again for commands that start with grav cp-r/tmp/distill-session.oqtmf/distill-session/home/coding blind text/dot-codec/skill/distill-session grab left paren, p right paren.
Awesome. So it's going to actually copy that in, and I'm going to listen to that
2
again.
Dot. Yes, comma, and Don tick T ask again for 2 dot. Yes, comma, and Don ask again for command that start with grav cp-cap-r/tmp/.
So we're moving a directory from temp
distill-session.oqt/distill-session/home/coding blind text/.codex/skills/distill.
All right, so this right here is trying to put the skill into my global. So the biggest thing, this is why you want to check before you actually just allow, because we actually want it to put it in our local. So by default, it's going to try to do that in the global, in our home directory. So if you want that, then you can allow this. But for me,
terminal
I'm
1
actually going
terminal
to
1 comma
hit
terminal
down
blank
arrow
blank
twice.
Terminal 1
and then it
press space blank no indent 3 dot no comma and tell Codex what to do differently.
No, and tell Codex what to do differently.
Terminal 1.
So what I'm going to do is go back
terminal
down
1
to
comma
the terminal.
terminal 1 comma left bracket bang right.
No, put it here in local project. And I'm going to hit enter.
Terminal 1, terminal 1, terminal 1, braille, terminal 1, braille 2, terminal 1,
So it's working again. So I am going to go up to my main area that way so we can listen for that sound effect again.
Terminal bell.
All right, so we got our terminal bell and we heard the noise. So now I'm going to go back down to our terminal.
Terminal 1, terminal 1.
You'll hear that sound too whenever you're on, if you're not on Visual Studio Code, like say you're in the browser or something like that, you'll still hear that sound. So it looks like it's asking us something else. So I'm going to hit Alt F2.
Access, press space 2 space 3 dot.
And again, I'm going to read number 2.
2 dot. Yes, comma, and Don tick T ask again for these files left paren, a right paren.
All right, so it's asking about the files. I'm going to up arrow. It may be talking about, so I use Obsidian to keep memory. So it's basically just a directory in Markdown. I'm going to up arrow.
No indent 1.
See if that's what it is.
Space 2 space left bracket dot space 2 space would you like to space blank blank 4 space 39 plus 38 plus 8 space or sensitive environment T 4 30 30 30 30 30 30 30.
You know, it also may be the fact that it's editing its own files, so it does request that
2020
whenever that happens.
20 not 4 8.
So I'm just going to keep up arrowing
4 not 18 6 15
because the file we're reading through right now by line number is the skill that it's writing out.
14 6 4 plus no output 2 space no indent 2 no indent bullet ran cp-r/tf 2 space no indent output it here in local project. Bullet ran 2 commands middle dot.
So that right there was us responding with no, put it here in the local project.
Output bullet ran 2 commands middle dot control plus T to view trans.
I ran
bullet ran 2 commands bullet edited 2 files left paren plus 42 space dot agent slash skill slash distill dash sessions.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So it's editing that dot agents / skills / and then our distilled session. So I am going to press Control Grov.
Terminal 1 comma.
And then I'm going to press enter.
Terminal 1 comma. Terminal 1 comma. Main landmark.
And I'm going to move back up to my main landmark with Control Grov. Remember, you can do that with Control J if you like. But I chose option 1 there because it was only one command. You could choose option 2 if you want to allow it, but remember, just make sure you understand what it's asking. All right, so while I was talking, we heard terminal bell, and then again that subtle sound effect. And then I'm going to, it would be nice if they made that a little louder, but in a future video, I'll show you how to make a hook to where we can set that up. I just haven't done it on this machine yet. All right, I'm going to hit Control Grov.
Terminal 1.
So to get back down to our terminal, and I'm going to press Alt F2. It's not asking us anything.
Accessible view. GPT dash.
All right, I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to up arrow.
Space blank. No indent ask codex. Space blank. Blank.
All right, so in my recent videos, I've mentioned that the way that you're going to know where the Codex CLI output starts is right above it. You'll run into a line that it doesn't say out loud. Now, you'll run into other lines that it doesn't say out loud, but typically there's a bullet point right below it that is a very clear indicator of it responding back. So I am going to up arrow.
No in 2 dash dash conf dash dash valid dash dot dash no in 4 space no indent.
So it looks like we found it.
Bullet created and installed the project dash local $distill dash session skill colon.
Nice. Okay. Yep. So it says it's created it.
2 space dash dot agent slash skill slash distill dash session slash skill.md dash dot agent slash.
So it gave the file there.
Dash dot agent slash skill slash distill dash session slash agent slash openai.yaml.
All right. So that's the open.yaml file that has to come with it.
Line
Let me
feed
make sure I said that right.
LMAY.YAML.
Yeah, YAML. Okay.
The skill enforces concise factual handoffs, comma, git-ignore verification, comma, unique file names, comma, secret exclusion, comma, and no overwriting, comma, staging, comma, or committing dot.
Nice. Okay, that's important.
Validation completed, colon. Dash official quick line validate dot py colon, passed.
All right.
Dash git diff dash dash check colon, passed. Dash confirmed plan slash handoffs and prospective files are ignored. Dash confirmed no personal tilde slash dot codex slash skill slash distill dash session installation exists.
Awesome.
Dash files remain untracked and unstaged as dot agent slash.
All right, so they're untracked, and I will be pushing these up that way, so it'll be available in the actual tic-tac-toe repository and GitHub. So make sure you get that description down below. or that link in the description down below.
No indent work for.
Awesome. So
Terminal
now, how do we use this? Well, let's actually see it work. So what we can do is, again, remember, we can reference it by a $sign. Now, we can definitely give it further instructions. So you can definitely say, you know, use dollar and then distill-session for this. Don't worry about creating a markdown file, just put it in the output, right? So we can do that. But in this case, I'm literally just going to do use space and then $sign.
Use
D. So if we start typing it, DIS.
Use $dis no matches, press enter to insert or ESC to close.
All right, so we may need to close Codex and reopen Codex. So, but when we do that, we're going to lose our session. So let me make sure that it's so we actually need to check our directory first. So let me
blank SID
backspace this, and we'll do control
blank.
So control shift E is an echo.
150 agents not selected, expanded 1 of 22, level 1. Level 2 skills not selected, expanded 1 of 1. Level 3 distill-session not selected, expanded 1 of 1.
Distill-session
DIST. Level 4 agents not selected, collapsed 1 of 2.
Agents.
SKILL.md not selected, 2 of 2, level 4.
SKILL.md. Okay, so, and this SKILL.md, this is where the actual skill
main landmark
is.
dash.
It starts with dash.
Name colon, distill-session.
And this is just Markdown.
Description colon, distill the full current Codex session into a concise comma, factual Markdown handoff in a verified git-ignored project.
Nice. So
name colon,
we got a name,
description.
a description. So, and if you wanted to make it more generic, you could most certainly take out Codex and then just make it for any model.
Directory when work needs to be resumed later. Dash blank. Number distill-session.
Awesome. So number distill-session. All right. So it's definitely here. And again, sometimes you may need to restart the Codex session.
Terminal 1 comma, take dash blank.
Let's go down here. We're just going to type $DIST.
$dis no matches, press enter to insert or ESC to close. $DIST. Blank.
Right, so I hit enter, even though we were getting that out loud message that it wasn't, it didn't find anything. I'm gonna hit Alt F2.
Accept. Press enter.
Go to the bottom.
Space blank. 2 space no matches. Space blank. No indent. $DIST. Space blank.
Oh, I see.
2 space. Press enter to insert or ESC to close.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna hit
terminal
escape.
1 comma blank.
I'm a backspace, and then we're gonna press Control C as in Charlie.
Shutting down shutting down
shut it down, and then we're just gonna up arrow. So I'm gonna clear my screen with C. You can type clear if you don't have an alias.
Command succeeded.
And then I'm gonna up arrow twice.
C.
And then I'm gonna hit
Adex. Terminal 1 comma. Terminal 1 comma. Braille 1 2 3.
All right, that's gonna load up. So now what I'm gonna do is do $sign again.
Deep research.
DIST. I didn't get any feedback that time. I'm gonna hit Alt F2.
Access. Press enter to insert or ES.
Up arrow.
Space 2 space distill-session left bracket skill right bracket right.
Okay, there it is, and it gives us a little description too. I just stopped it.
Terminal 1 comma.
All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit home
blank.
And then I'm gonna type use space and then now I'm gonna hit Alt F2.
Accessible. Press
check that was typed correct.
Space 2 space distill-session left bracket skill right bracket right space blank. No indent use $DIST.
Yep, there we go. Okay, and we still had that output from where we needed to press enter, but if you up arrow 2 more times, you'll see your typed output.
Terminal 1.
So now I'm going to hit enter on this. Now we don't have any session history though. So I'm curious to see what it's actually going to do.
Use $distill-session GPT-5.6.
All right, and I'm going to Alt F2.
Accessible. GP space no indent use $distilled space blank. 2 space tip colon. Terminal 1 comma.
Okay, I see. So it actually was just stuck in that state until I hit enter twice, I guess. So I guess the first time it needed to fill it in. I'm going to hit enter to actually send the message.
Ask Codex to do anything. Use terminal 1 comma.
Alright, and
main
I
landmark.
am going to hit Control Grav to go back up to the main area so we can listen for that sound effect.
Terminal bell.
Alright, so it's done now, and it did take about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's see what it came up with.
Terminal 1,
so if I go back down to my terminal and then I hit Alt F2,
access GPT dash space blank, no indent, ask code space blank blank, no indent, worked for 1 minute 29.
So it worked for 1 minute 29 seconds, so my timing was a little off.
2 space verify, no indent, bullet created plans, bullet created plan,
and it's a very short response.
Bullet created plan / handoff / session dash handoff dash 202608225 dash 1614557.md.
Alright, there's our file, and it gave us the location. So,
created plan /
so plan /
handoffs,
and then handoff
/
okay, alright, so I'm down here.
2 space verified, it is ignored by Git and produces no Git status entry dot. Nope.
Alright, awesome. It verified that it did not produce any Git status, so it is ignored by Git. Alright, so now we're going to Shift Control E as an echo.
Files Explorer blank.
And I do have
Files Explorer level 1.
Now, sometimes you have to do Control Shift E twice. I don't know why, but it sticks into it. It'll move you up, but then it'll move your focus back down to the terminal. So for me, it did that, and I had to hit Shift Control E a second time. So I'm gonna home, and then I'm gonna look for plan.
Node plan not selected, collapse 6 of 22.
There it is, and I'm gonna hit enter.
Selected, expanded.
And then go
level
down.
2 handoffs not selected, expanded 1 of.
There's our handoffs. It's already expanded.
Level 3 session dash handoff dash 202608225 dash 1614557.
All right, nice. Here's our file. Let's see what it says.
Main landmark number session handoff colon.
All right, so now we can look at it this way, or we can do a preview of it with Control Shift V as in Victor.
Session application session dash application undefined frame created handoff path colon.
All right, sometimes it'll lock you into forms mode or browse mode, and you'll have to press tab. But for me here, it just went directly into the document. So now I can move around with headings or links.
Objective heading session handoff colon.
All right, it's our session handoff.
Objective heading level 2.
Here's our objective.
Create exactly one concise comma. Project dash local handoff for the full visible.
Okay, so those are just, that's literally the objective. So the instruction.
Completed work heading level. Object completed work heading level 2.
So completed work.
List with 5 items. Bullet confirmed the repository root is /home /coding blind text /code /youtube /react app /tick tac toe dot. Bullet confirmed the branch is main comma, tracking origin /main dot. Bullet confirmed there are no tracked working tree changes and no stage changes dot. Bullet preserved 2 pre-existing untracked skill files no application comma, test comma, configuration comma. Documentation comma, dependency comma, or generated files were changed dot. Bullet created the single handoff in the ignored plan /handoff /directory dot. Out of list heading level 2 decisions.
Awesome. So how cool is that? So I didn't expect that, but it kind of showed you or told us what it did whenever we started the session. So, so the first thing it did before it even executed what we asked it to do, it went through checks before it did that. And it even told us the very last thing it did, which was generate the handoff document. So that is super cool. All right, well, you can continue to read down this. I hope you went through it. You can expect this in the GitHub repo, so it'll already be up and pushed up by the time you see this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, be sure to like it and subscribe. That really helps out. And I will see you in the next one. All right, thanks. Bye.